Long ago, before the age of mobile phones and flashy cars, when people still fetched water from clay pots and the evening air smelled of roasted yams and palm wine, there lived a man named Chief Nnanna Okeke in the heart of Obioma town. Welcome to real-life African stories. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss any of our tales. Chief Nnanna was a man whose name carried weight, like the heavy sound of a gong struck during a village meeting. He was a man of influence, wealth, and wisdom. His chain of businesses stretched from Nsukka to Aba, palm oil trade, cocoa farms, and even a textile company that bore his initials, Eno and Sons Limited. But beyond his riches, what people admired most was his generosity. If a widow cried for help, Chief Nnanna would send her food. If a young man needed money for an apprenticeship, Chief would sign a check without hesitation. The villagers called him Ka Dima, the one who makes things right. In his wide compound with red earth walls and tall coconut trees, there lived his beloved wife Adaku. Adaku was the kind of woman whose presence softened even the hardest heart. Her voice was gentle, her laughter carried warmth, and her kindness was unmatched. She had a face that radiated peace, not the loud beauty of a woman who knew she was admired, but the quiet grace of a woman whose heart was pure. Every morning, Adaku rose before dawn, tied her wrapper tight, and prepared hot pap and mwamwa for her husband before he went to his business office in town. The housemaids adored her. The neighbors respected her. The elders blessed her. Yet even paradise has its missing piece. For 16 years, Adaku bore Chief Nnanna only one child, a daughter Amara, a bright, beautiful, and soft-spoken girl who was the very image of her mother. Chief loved his daughter dearly. He would often say, "If children were judged by love, Amara is worth 10 sons." But the whispers of the village are louder than a father's affection. Every year during family meetings or village festivals, old men would nod knowingly and murmur, "Ihaya." A man like Chief Nnanna with all his wealth, and yet no son to bear his name. Some would even say it louder when they thought Adaku was not listening. "Adaku is a good woman," they'd say. "But what is a good woman who cannot give her husband sons?" Those words began to weigh heavily on Chief Nnanna's heart. He tried to brush them off, but the pressure came not only from outsiders. Even his own uncles began to whisper that the ancestors frowned on his lineage for lack of a male heir. And so, after many nights of silent thought and long talks with his kinsmen, Chief did what many men of his time would have done. He took a second wife. Her name was Nene. Nene was from Enugu, tall, striking, and full of energy. She came from a family famous for bearing many children, especially boys. Her elder sister had 3 sons, her younger sister 5. Even her mother used to boast that boys are in our blood. So, when Nene arrived at Chief's compound, her beauty turned heads. Her laughter was loud, her steps confident, her wrapper tied high and bold. She was the complete opposite of Adaku, modern, daring, and restless. At first, Adaku welcomed her with open arms, offering her a place in the household and even helping her settle in. She said to her husband, "If this is what will bring peace to your heart, may God bless your decision." For a time, peace did reign. The compound echoed with laughter, and Chief Nnanna, being a just man, treated both women kindly. But the heart cannot pretend for long. No matter how hard Chief tried, his affection always drifted back to Adaku. She was his first love, the woman who had stood by him when he had nothing but dreams and determination. When he looked at her, he saw the years they had shared, the days of palm wine and roasted plantain by the stream, the times she prayed for him during hard seasons. And so, gradually, Nene began to notice. She noticed how Chief's eyes lingered longer on Adaku than on her. She noticed how he never finished her cooking, but always cleared Adaku's plates. She noticed how, at night, the lantern in Adaku's hut glowed until late, while hers stayed dark. Even during festivals, when Chief Nnanna went out to attend gatherings or visit his political friends, he would always say, "Adaku, dress well. You are coming with me." The people of Obioma began to whisper again, but this time about Nene. "She is beautiful, yes, but her husband's heart belongs to another." "A beauty without love is an empty pot," some women said at the stream. First, Nene tried to ignore it. She smiled, wore brighter clothes, cooked sweeter meals, and even danced more boldly during gatherings. But Chief's heart remained unmoved. The more she tried to win him, the more obvious his love for Adaku became. And slowly, that love turned to jealousy in Nene's heart, a jealousy that burned like dry palm leaves set on fire. Then came the day everything changed. It was a calm afternoon, and the sun had begun to lean toward the west, throwing long shadows across the compound. Chief Nnanna sat under the Udala tree with his friend, Chief Okafor, sipping palm wine and talking freely, thinking no one else was listening. But Nene was close, just behind the corridor, her ear pressed against the bamboo wall. Chief Okafor laughed and teased. "Nnanna, your second wife is a jewel, oh. You must be enjoying double blessings now." Chief Nnanna sighed and replied quietly, "Okafor, to be honest, I only married Nene because I wanted children. Adaku is my life. She is my peace. Everything else is just a shadow beside her." Those words struck Nene's heart like thunder. Her body froze, her hands trembled, and a bitter taste filled her mouth. She could not believe what she had just heard, that after all her efforts, all her charm, all her prayers, the man she called husband saw her only as a vessel for childbirth. From that moment, Nene's laughter changed. Her eyes grew darker, quieter. She stopped singing around the house. Something inside her broke, and from that crack, envy began to whisper. A whisper that would soon grow into something far more dangerous. Because from that day forward, Nene no longer desired love. She desired power. And she was willing to go anywhere, even beyond the world of the living, to get it. Bitterness is a silent poison. It does not roar or burn at once. It seeps slowly, crawling into the corners of a heart until the person no longer recognizes their own reflection. For many weeks after overhearing Chief Nnanna's confession, Nene moved about the compound like a shadow of herself. Her laughter, once loud and infectious, faded into silence. Her songs, once bright and flirtatious, became whispers swallowed by the wind. She smiled when others were watching, but inside her storms brewed. At night, she lay awake, staring at the thatched ceiling, her mind replaying Chief's words over and over. "I only married Nene for the children. Adaku is my life." Those words echoed in her skull like the toll of a funeral bell. Chief Nnanna noticed her distance and tried to be kind. He bought her jewelry, fine wrappers from Onitsha, even new shoes from Lagos. But Nene no longer cared for gifts. What use were gold and silk to a woman whose pride had been shattered? What she wanted was not comfort. It was vengeance. And vengeance, in the old lands of Obioma, was something easily found if one was willing to walk into the shadows. It was during one of those gloomy mornings that her aunt Ezinne arrived unannounced. Ezinne was not a woman who blended easily with others. Her presence always stirred whispers, not out of respect but out of unease. People said she had the eyes that see. They said she could speak to the wind, call the rain, and dream of things that hadn't yet happened. She wore a red scarf that never seemed to fade and carried a walking stick carved with strange symbols. When she stepped into Nene's hut that morning, she took one long look at her niece and said quietly, "Child, your heart is too heavy. Tell me what burns inside you. First, Nene tried to deny it. She smiled and said, Auntie, I am fine. I am happy here. But Ezinne only chuckled, that slow, knowing laugh of one who sees beyond words. She placed a hand on Nene's shoulder and whispered, Your tongue can lie, but your eyes cannot. Something is eating your soul. If you keep pretending, it will consume you before the next moon. And that was the moment Nene broke. Tears flooded her eyes, hot and furious. She told her aunt everything. The gossip, the humiliation, the rejection, and the cruel words she had overheard. She spoke until her voice trembled, until the pain poured out like water from a cracked pot. Ezinne listened in silence, nodding slowly. When Nene finished, her aunt sighed deeply and said, The world of men is unfair to women like us. But the world of spirits? Ah, that one listens, if you know how to knock. Nene frowned. Auntie, what do you mean? Ezinne leaned closer, her eyes gleaming. There are places, child, sacred places, where justice is not begged for, it is taken. I can take you there, if you have the heart for it. And so, as twilight began to fall, the two women set out. They left through the back gate, moving quietly so no one would see them. The path led through the dense forest behind Obioma, where crickets sang, fireflies blinked like spirits in the dark, and the air grew heavy with the smell of wet earth. After what felt like an hour's walk, they reached the river Idemili, a wide, deep river that the villagers feared. They said the river had no mercy for liars, and that its waters could remember every secret ever whispered along its banks. There, under the shade of an ancient iroko tree, stood a small shrine. Its walls were made of clay and palm fronds, and before it burned a small fire that crackled and hissed like it was alive. Inside, a woman sat. Her skin was the color of charcoal, her hair wrapped in white cloth. Her eyes, sharp and unsettling, glowed faintly in the firelight. Around her neck hung strings of cowries, bones, and black feathers. Ezinne bowed low and said softly, Keeper of the calabash, I have brought my sister's child. The woman turned slowly to face Nene. Her voice, when she spoke, was like the hiss of a serpent mixed with the calm of still water. You seek power, she said. Power that bends love, twists fate, and silences rivals. Nene swallowed hard. Yes, I seek to remove the one who blocks my joy. The keeper smiled faintly, not with kindness but with understanding. She rose and reached for a brown calabash sitting on a wooden stool. It was smooth and old, tied with red thread. This, the keeper said, is not a toy for mortals. It carries the breath of shadows. Whatever you take from the world of spirits must one day be repaid. Remember that. But Nene's pain had already deafened her to wisdom. She nodded impatiently. I don't care what it costs. I just want peace. The keeper of the calabash looked at her one last time, then began the ritual. She drew a circle on the ground with white chalk, placed the brown calabash at the center, and wrapped it with a white cloth. Then she pulled a black feather from her basket and waved it over the calabash 3 times, whispering incantations in a language older than memory. The air thickened. The fire turned blue. The river behind them roared as if something ancient had woken beneath its depths. Then, in a low voice, the keeper said, When the moon is full, open this calabash in the presence of your enemy's spirit. Do not speak. Do not fear. Bind her essence with your will, and her hold will fade. But remember, daughter of earth, what you bind in darkness shall one day seek its own freedom. When it was over, Nene's hands trembled as she received the calabash. The keeper's eyes followed her every move, and for a moment, Nene thought she saw something. A faint face, trapped within the calabash, staring back at her. She blinked, and it was gone. Ezinne led her away quickly, murmuring prayers under her breath. The forest seemed to watch them as they left. By the time they returned to Obioma, the moon had climbed high, silvering the rooftops. Nene hid the calabash carefully under her bed, wrapped in the white cloth. Then she washed her face, changed her wrapper, and walked into Adaku's hut with a bright, false smile. "Big sister," she said sweetly, "I made soup tonight. You must taste it." Adaku smiled warmly, not seeing the shadow behind those words. Later that night, when the compound slept, Nene sat on the edge of her bed. Her eyes glowed faintly in the moonlight. Her lips moved slowly, whispering strange incantations she could barely remember from the shrine. The brown calabash trembled slightly beneath her bed, humming softly, like something alive waiting. And from the distant forest, where the river Idemili flowed, a cold wind rose and carried a single whisper into the night. "It has begun." The morning began like any other in Chief Nnanna's compound. The cock had just crowed thrice, the harmattan breeze floated through the open courtyard, and the scent of freshly peeled beans filled the air. In the center of the yard, beside the small clay stove, Adaku sat with her daughter, Amara, frying akara for breakfast. The sound of oil bubbling mixed with Amara's laughter as smoke curled lazily into the air. Adaku wore a simple blue wrapper, her hair tied in a loose bun. Even in her plainness, she carried a grace that seemed born of peace. Every movement, from the way she flipped the akara balls to the way she wiped her hands on her wrapper, spoke of a woman content in her world. Amara, now 16, sat beside her, fanning the fire with a woven fan and giggling as she asked questions only daughters ask their mothers when their hearts are light. "Mama," she said, her eyes bright with mischief, "why does Papa love you so much? Even when you say one word, he listens as if you're the village oracle." Adaku laughed, that soft melodic laugh that made even birds pause to listen. "Ah, my daughter, love is not built in one day. Your father and I grew up together, eating from the same plate. We fought, we cried, we dreamed, and when the world turned against us, we stood side by side." She stirred the frying akara gently and continued, her tone nostalgic. "Your father had nothing when he came for me. Just one torn shirt and a stubborn dream. People mocked me, said I was wasting my youth. But I saw something in him, kindness, vision, faith. That is what love is, Amara. Not just sweet words, but standing beside someone when the drums of life beat out of rhythm." Amara smiled, resting her head against her mother's shoulder. "I want to love like that one day." Adaku pinched her cheek playfully. "Then you must learn patience, my dear. Love without patience is like akara without salt. It looks fine but tastes of nothing." They both laughed again, their bond radiant like morning light. But behind the mud wall, a shadow stood, listening. 'Twas Nene. She had woken before dawn, her eyes heavy with sleeplessness and her heart boiling with rage. For nights she had dreamt of Adaku, always smiling, always adored, always at the center of Chief Nnanna's world. And each dream ended the same way. Nene calling out but being ignored, her words swallowed by laughter. Now, as she listened to Adaku speak of love and loyalty, her hands trembled. Her jaw clenched so tightly that a vein pulsed in her temple. "Love, loyalty," she muttered bitterly. "You took everything from me, Adaku. Everything." In her right hand, wrapped in a white cloth, she carried the brown calabash, the same one given to her by the keeper of the calabash. It felt heavier that morning, as though something alive throbbed inside it. The full moon had waned the night before, and her time had come. She stepped slowly into the courtyard, her feet soundless on the red earth. The moment she appeared, Adaku smiled warmly. "Ah, Nene, good morning. Come and join us. I made plenty of akara. But Nene did not answer. Her eyes were cold, distant, almost hollow. Little Amara, cheerful and innocent, looked up and asked curiously, "Auntie Nene, what are you carrying?" There was no reply. Only a low, strange hum came from Nene's lips, like a song sung in reverse. Adaku's smile faltered. "Nene, what's the matter? You don't look well." Thank you for watching and listening to our story. In the comment section, please let us know where you're watching from and share your thoughts on our story. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for more stories. See you in the next part. Bye!